Hi, good afternoon. Another day, another show. I've got a lot of good feedback from my first two shows. It's been quite interesting. The feedback has been varied. Some people have liked it, some people have appreciated it, but lots of people have given me a lot of inputs. And I think uh, those have been very, very helpful. So maybe my today's show, I'll try and incorporate a few of them and let's see how it goes. Okay, today I'm going to speak about a subject which is, I think, a little tough to explain, but extremely important to understand in the current scheme of things. Uh, you know, in most of our conversations in our daily life, we keep using a term very often. This is a great brand. This is a great brand. This is a great brand. I pay so much for it because it's a fabulous brand. I buy it from my family because it's a great brand. I buy it from my friends because the brand is fabulous. Now, a lot of people don't understand, or rather, a lot of people don't appreciate what it takes to be a great brand. Great brands are brands that have been part of your life, part of your generation, part of your previous generation. They are old, monolithic brands. They are big brands. They are stable. They are rock solid. They do day in and day out the same thing. They're extremely consistent. They're extremely straightforward. Uh, and they've been there, like I keep telling people all the time, a good brand is a brand that outlives people. That's the way you define a good brand. Take Nike, for instance, 100 years old. Take Coke, 125 years old. Take BMW, again, nearly 100 years old. Take FedEx, Nike, Sony. You can go on taking names, Samsung. These are all really Google, old, monolithic, stable brands. And if you actually sit and analyze their DNA, they're all consistent, they're stable, they are non controversial, they keep it clean, they don't get into your space, they let you live your life. Uh, and in the same breath, in your current lifetime, there are so many brands that have come and gone. And I'm talking about big brands, I'm not talking about small regional brands, I'm talking about a brand like Ericsson, Nokia, Yahoo, Kodak. Uh, they have not innovated, they were not relevant, they don't know how to say the new story, they get into spaces which are not meant for them, and they go away. And they go away very quickly. Before you realize, 90%, 80% market share brands just disappear. And they disappear not because of something very dramatic, they disappear because they made very, very stupid mistakes. You make a small mistake and you're gone. Uh, it is building a brand, telling a story is a very boring and a very continuous process. You have to stick to it, you have to stay with it, you have to live with it. Whether you look at product brands or you look at human brands, this will be a common thing. I mean, if I put this into a political context, look at what happened to Congress. Congress was a big monolithic brand uh, till 2014. They refused to change, they refused to look at new things. They believed that their formula was the perfect formula. They believed the people who were doing what they were doing all their life were the best people in the world. They continue doing that. They continue giving away freebies. Freebies is a very uh, it's not a good thing. It sounds very nice, but it's not a good thing. Uh, I'll give you a very good example. It's a slightly controversial example, but I'll give it to you. One of my favorite product innovations in the last 25 years in India has been the Tata Nano. Okay, the Tata Nano, I think, was a fabulous car. For a lakh of rupees to get a car, I know some people who own it. I think Nano was a marketing failure. It was not a product failure. If Nano was sold as the most beautiful thing for a lakh of rupees, I think it would have sold much better than telling the world at large that it is a car for common and poor people. Nobody wants to be known poor in this day and age. Even a guy living in a small hamlet in a village today has his mobile phone, has his lifestyle, is completely connected. You can't humiliate them through your brand. It's not correct. I don't want to be known as a poor man sitting in a poor car. I want to be known as a rich man sitting in a small car or a technologically advanced car. That is where Nano went wrong. And I think that's a big learning for a lot of people, especially political parties. Unless you change, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to win anything big. You're going to win here and there. Today you won Karnataka. But yeah, it'll end there. But for you to fix it long term, you'll have to fix your narrative. You'll have to fix your. I think Congress has fixed their product. But now needs to fix their narrative. The same mistake now BJP is committing. BJP now has understood or realized that they have a narrative which was helping them win in the past. There is a fatigue to it. Marketing people by nature are quite lazy. They don't want to change. They just want to get stuck to one thought, one philosophy, and they believe that is the solution. And they keep giving the example of Nike. Just do it. Just do it is a line that keeps changing its story every 8 to 10 years. Just do it is the most refreshed line you can ever think of. So BJP needs to also start thinking what it needs to do. Is the current narrative working for them? Is the current narrative not working for them? If it has to work for them, what they need to do? If it has to bring them back to where they were in the past, what they need to do? It's not easy. And what happens most times is that when you start seeing success, you start believing that's a permanent formula. Success has a certain context. It wins in a certain space at a certain time. The same success cannot be applied in a different context in a different time. I'll tell you something. Toyota, for instance. Toyota, I believe, has an internal policy that every 10 years, they kill their most successful brand. They do it not because they want to make less money. They do it because they want to keep the innovation funnel constantly churning out new models. And that is why Toyota is what it is today. It is the world's largest selling car. And it keeps selling in markets where earlier were dominated by European brands. So Toyota is Toyota because they re-engineer themselves every 10 years. So post today's election results in Karnataka, where there's lots of euphoria and lots of noise. I think once it settles down, if things have to change for either the Congress or the BJP in 24, they need to get back to the drawing board, think, rewrite, recalibrate, re-ask questions, because the questions that they asked earlier are not relevant anymore. They have to look for a new bunch of questions which are relevant now. And 24 is not going to be a state battle, it's going to be a national battle. So you're dealing with people from across the country, you're dealing with sentiments across the country. Achhe Din was relevant in 14. Will Achhe Din be relevant in 24? Will that promise work anymore? What will be your promise? How will your promise change? What is Congress's promise? So, from a marketing guy, from a branding guy, I think sitting on the sidelines and watching this rollout will be beautiful. It will be fun. And I think next 2 years, it's going to be fun for India to be participating in this journey from two of the world's largest brands. BJP is one of the largest brands in the world. Congress also is the largest brand in the world with a base of 25-30 crore consumers. So they're huge. So it will be fun to watch. I think we are all going to have fun. And we have to just wait and see how they evolve, how they improve, how they fix, and how they manage 24. And like I keep saying again and again, whether you're in politics or you're in consumer marketing, finally there's a consumer who consumes your brand. And the consumer will buy into anything that is relevant to them. However big you are, however powerful you are, it does not matter. Nokia was the most powerful brand with 85% market share. It did not resonate with the consumer, it went away. You don't resonate with the consumer, you'll go away. It's as simple as that. You can keep making all the noise in the newsrooms, but the consumer is the king. So looking forward to a beautiful journey for 24. More soon. Thank you. All the best.